Ah, okay, I guess.
Is this good?
Hello. Yeah, this is good. Hello, hello. What?
Hello, 你好.
Ni hao, ni hao. Uh, what is your name?
Hi, my name is Alex.
Yes.
Yeah,
Hi, Alex. We met at some meetup official. I forget go kart meetup.
yeah, a gold card meetup.
So, are you a go kart member in Taiwan or?
I am, yeah. I am a digital product manager.
Yeah.
And I used to work in Wall Street in finance in an international investment bank. And I came to Taipei 6 months ago to start learning Chinese and blockchain.
You quit as a
Yeah,
banker on Wall Street
Yeah.
to come to Taiwan.
yeah.
Little old Taiwan when Wall Street is the center of the world. I don't know why you did that. What kind of-
Well, I had lived in New York City for 12 years,
Yeah.
and New York City is a wonderful place, but a really intense place. And I feel like my life in New York City was kind of like playing a board game. When I first came to New York City, I was really shit at the game.
Yeah.
And then I figured out how to get better at playing the New York City life. And then I got really good at it. And then I wanted to switch up my life.
New York City is like playing a board game. What kind of board game? Is it chess, checkers, or
Oh,
Go?
It's kind of like Monopoly.
Monopoly.
Like Monopoly was designed to make rich people richer and
Yeah.
poor people poorer.
So you became rich then. You
I did,
You
yeah.
win the game. Now you have a lot of houses. So if I step on it, I have to pay you how much money? How much money do I have to pay you?
I think this interview is probably going to be 500 kwai.
We'll buy one. 500. I don't even know. 500 million or
I
something.
think so.
So you won the game of New York City.
I did, yeah. I got a rent stabilized apartment. I live right near Central Park. I was volunteering, taking care of dogs and getting them ready to be adopted. It was a really nice life.
But you left because
Oh, I left because I had a 30-year dream of learning how to speak a second language, and I've tried learning 15 different languages and failed at all of them. So I spent 10 years in New York City with a secret bank account, and every week I put money into that secret bank account. I didn't tell anyone about it, and I wouldn't let myself use the money. And over the course of 10 years, I saved up money so I would have enough money to quit my job, move abroad, learn a language, and not have to worry about working. I could just focus on finally realizing my dream.
wow. I'm confused. You said 30-year dream.
Yeah.
You look very young. I don't even know how old you are. I thought you were like mid-20s or something.
No.
But anyways,
I'm 41.
nah, no way.
Yeah, I was born in 1983.
Jeez, super young. Wow, you still have a lot of life left, man. So you had a long-term dream of learning another language, and you moved to New York. Isn't New York good for learning languages?
It is good for learning languages, but I have learning disabilities.
No.
So I didn't really realize that until I was an adult in school. I just struggled a lot and changed my school studies to what would complement my natural way of learning. And it wasn't until I came to Taiwan and started again to learn another language that I realized, oh, fuck, my disabilities make this really hard.
Wow.
Yeah.
You mentioned you tried learning 15 different languages. What kind of languages did you try to learn before?
Oh, yeah. So I tried learning Spanish, Sinhalese, French, German, Arabic, Hindi, Portuguese, Urdu, Cantonese. I tried Mandarin, Japanese. Did I say that one? Some Vietnamese, and also Swedish.
And you failed. You said you failed. How do you know you failed?
It wasn't sticky in my brain. There were other things that I could learn, and they would just like live in my brain.
Yeah.
But with languages, I wasn't learning as quickly as my peers, and I wasn't picking up on concepts and retaining it. Like with Spanish, I couldn't handle the conjugation, like the verb conjugation, and like the idea of like I have to change what is it like sabir to like sabes,
Yeah.
or like I have to change it to who I'm talking to, and then change it based on like, am I talking to them now? Do I want to talk to them? Did I talk to them? Like it's just grammatically really hard for me.
Well, if you have a lot of chance, then so do I, because Spanish is so hard. I'm learning right now, and I still get confused. Even though I learned Spanish 1 year in high school, I still don't know. I think learning languages is really hard, anyways. But
Yeah, I agree. I have autism and dyslexia. Are you familiar with those?
Yes, I'm familiar with autism.
Okay, yeah. So with my autism, it's really important that I understand the logic of something. And with Chinese, I feel like sometimes the logic can be similar to the grammar syntax of English.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's not. When it's not, it takes a long time for me to like really understand the concept.
So you're here to learn Chinese. This is your second time, third time, first time?
This is my first time formally learning Chinese. I had been in Taiwan and China and Hong Kong 20 years ago, and I was like trying to pick up the language informally, but I like officially have a tutor, and I like did some classes, so yeah.
So it's your dream to learn a second language?
It is, yeah.
Is there any particular reason you just want to talk to other people, or you just...
I think many of my family members speak other languages, and I always admired that. I also feel like as an American, it's kind of my responsibility to try to be a good world citizen. And I feel like many Americans kind of sometimes treated the world as if they're the center of the world, and I didn't want to be that kind of person. So I feel like learning a language is a really good way of contributing to the like community of everyone, and humbling myself.
I also feel like I'm from the West as well, like everyone is also fixated on America, and even being in Taiwan, everyone is trying to learn English. Like the problem is that like because English is the #1 language in the world, English speakers tend to feel like, oh, we don't need to learn any other language, because everyone is trying to learn our language, so we don't need to learn anything else.
I don't really like that. It is so confusing to me when I meet foreigners that move and live in another place for a long time, and they don't put in the hard work to learn the culture, to meet locals, to learn the language. I feel like that's a waste. Like, why did they move?
Why do you move if you not try to, learn a language? I think it's fun to be able to speak to someone else in another language.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't really want the world to become either monocultural either.
Exactly. I actually watched a really fascinating TED Talk. I don't know the name of it, and it came out maybe like 8 or 10 years ago. But it was a linguist, and she was talking about, maybe she was a psychologist, but she was talking about how when you learn different languages, your mind works in different ways, because languages have different concepts of time, or different concepts of direction, or different concepts of love or community or self-expression, and that as the world loses more and more languages and we kind of like focus and narrow down on a select few of languages, we also are losing the beautiful diversity of thought.
So you mentioned you were born in America. You were born and raised in America. How is that it?
So I was born in America, and in my first year I moved to Japan and lived there for 4 years. Then I came back to America, and then in my 20s there was a bad recession, and I couldn't get a job. I was a graphic designer, so this is before crowdfunding existed. I convinced all of my friends and family to loan me $200 each, and then I would pay them back in 2 years with 0 interest. And I used that money to go abroad And then I went to embassies, and I would be in the American embassy and wait for businessmen. And then I would say, do you need a website? Do you need a logo? Can I help you design your packaging?
Yeah.
And I ended up starting my career as a graphic designer with kind of being, I guess, an entrepreneur and having my own business.
Wow, that's such amazing story. That's a good. You're very driven to do that. But you mentioned you live in Japan for 4 years when you were beginning. So you would say you would say your formative years are in Japan.
I think that my formative years were split between Japan and then also coming back to America because in Japan I was still a baby. So I was growing and experiencing the world in a really diverse way. And I do remember that because I came over with American parents that were Caucasian, my father had blonde hair, blue eyes. The community that we lived in, the locals would call him Fish Eyes. And so, yeah, so I think that being in Japan as a kid definitely helps me be really open to exploring the world. And I got a computer very early and started I taught myself how to code websites, and I started making friends from around the world. And this was right when AOL had just started, so not many people were using the internet my age.
So do you remember, do you speak Japanese? Because usually when kids learn their first language, it's usually this first 5 years they listen a lot of that local language. Do you remember any Japanese, or you speak Japanese well right now?
I do not speak Japanese well. I don't remember it too much, but I watched anime because I was a kid and I liked cartoons, and as an artist, my whole life I've watched anime. So I definitely, when I go to Japan, I start remembering words I didn't know existed in my brain, where I'm like, what? Why do I know the word for duct tape? Where did that come from? So things like that.
Oh, so that's because you had a long time in Japan. 4 years is a lot. Especially as a kid, you remember a lot of stuff. As a kid, you just soak up a lot of stuff, and it's just sitting in your brain, and you don't know it's there until you go back. So you don't know how to speak Japanese right now, sadly.
Not much, no. Watashi wa Alex. See, every time I start thinking about Japanese, other languages flood my brain because I'm not really fluent in anything but English. So I start trying to think in English of the words that I want to say, and then if I don't know it in Japanese, then the word will pop in Spanish or Chinese or Korean. Yeah.
Okay. If you could go back in time, would you convince your parents? I don't know why your parents left. Would you convince your parents to stay in Japan, or?
I think if I could go back in time, I would. I actually won a scholarship in high school to go to Japan. It was through the government, and my parents were very nervous about me going to Japan as a teenager by myself. So they canceled the scholarship the day that the scholarship began. The moment I was supposed to go to the airport, they decided not to drive me to the airport. So that was pretty heartbreaking. So if I could go back in time, I would try to change their mind and go to Japan as a teenager.
Why did they want you not to go to Japan? They went to Japan.
I think at the time there was a lot of concerns about Japanese men touching schoolgirls on the subway.
Oh, okay.
So I think they were probably nervous about safety.
You mentioned your parents speak a lot of languages. Do your parents also speak a lot of languages? Did they travel a lot, or?
Yeah, my parents actually met in the Air Force, and they were trained by the U.S. government to learn Russian. And we were sent to Japan so they could just listen to the radio waves during the Cold War in the 80s, and from Japan listen for any Russian intelligence.
So they were spies. Okay.
I guess that's one way of looking at it.
They were undercover spies in Japan.
Maybe. I don't really know. know, but I guess that story does sound kind of weird.
Well, why else do we in Russia listen to radios?
Yeah.
Radio waves.
Yeah, it is kind of weird. That was their job. They would just listen to Russian radio from Japan. Huh. Anyways, that's why I was in Japan.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
so you speak Russian as well? You're undercover spy. If I say a secret word, if I say a Russian word, you would activate or something.
I'm gonna have to kill you now. No, sadly, all of my family is really good at languages, but I was not gifted with that skill.
Oh, well, you're gifted with something else. I mean, you're very accomplished right now. I mean, if you could retire and come to Taiwan to learn languages, that's an accomplishment.
I'm not retired, but I am taking a strategic risk in my financial position at the moment.
So what's the next plan then?
So I am learning blockchain and cryptocurrency, and I'm thinking about becoming a crypto investor or moving into working on building blockchain technologies.
So in Taiwan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I also have some blockchain, so very nice to meet you. We could talk about that in the future.
Yeah, that's so cool. Thank you so much for your time today.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for the interview.
That sounds great.
Yeah.